a bag of coins?
We're stuck.
Oh, yeah.
I don't see that.
What is that for?
Nothing.
Okay.
So,
Disciplinary bag.
It's just in shape.
welcome back, everyone. So good to see you guys again. Hope you're enjoying the food and all that. And so we're going to start today kind of a little mini series. And this one's going to be very interesting because we're going to be talking about topics relating to both men and women. Basically, the challenges that we face in society today. So this first week here is going to be on the women. I don't know how it's going to go because I'm not a woman, and I've made several questionable comments in the past about women, which I've been saying. They were jokes, though, totally jokes. But, so I'm really hoping the ladies can help us out here tonight and just kind of, honestly, really help explain the struggles that you guys are going through, the things, and you might not deal with every one of these struggles on here, obviously, but I think it'd be really interesting to talk about, and then obviously next week or in a couple weeks we'll talk about the struggles that men face, which will be a very long list. But yeah, I'm very excited to get into this, and I guess just to open up, what do you guys think are some of the main problems that women face nowadays, specifically Christian women? It could be anything.
Probably the rules that they're supposed to be,
Right.
and the sexism that goes along with that.
Right. The role of what a woman is just so skewed today, I feel like, because I don't know, in the past, in the 50s, the 40s, and all that, it's very simple. It's housewife. You're gonna be. This is what you're gonna be. You're gonna have children and then cook and clean and do all that. And then nowadays, with everything, all the changes and everything that's happened, progressive stuff, which is good stuff. Now women are able to do a lot more than they were before. Now they're working a lot of jobs. Now they're doing all this stuff. And of course, you still have housewives and all that. But the role of what a woman actually is supposed to be, I feel like has changed a lot in the past 50, 60 years. Some stuff we're going to talk about tonight is social media, the comparison trap, constantly comparing yourself to other ladies in your life. That's something that a lot of guys do too, or at least me. I tend to do that a lot. Your self-worth maybe is, maybe you struggle with that sometimes. Maybe you struggle with marriage or being in a season of singleness. I don't know. I'm just throwing things out. A lot of you guys are in relationships already, but
Culture is a big aspect of that.
But it's you're expected to do these certain things, and it's when you have your grandparents coming up to you, when are you gonna have children? Clock's ticking. And it's what? I'm 24. What are you talking about? Hypersexualized culture. We're gonna get into that. We're gonna get into some really explicit stuff here. So, and then a cultural pressure that we feel. And then lastly, balancing the roles, career, family, and the impact of feminism. Dun, dun, dun. Is it a good thing or a bad thing? We're going to talk about that tonight. And then we're going to talk about strong women in the Bible too. But anyways, what?
Why is that such an offhand comment?
What? I just.
Oh yeah, we're also talking about strong women as we go.
I don't know. I'm just saying. There's a lot of strong women in the Bible. But first, let's go to part 1. Let's talk about our identity, worth, and the comparison trap. So, modern women face relentless comparison via social media, filters, and influencer culture that fuels anxiety, body image struggles, and the lie that worth equals appearance or achievement. Now, again, ladies, I hope you can help me out here because I don't know like all this stuff, but like I feel like this is more of an issue now with like teens nowadays, where it's like they'll look on Instagram or stuff and they'll see pictures of other girls, and it's just like, you know, I don't look like that. You know, you kind of struggle with your self-worth, maybe, or kind of struggle with who you are, how you look. I mean, have any of you ladies ever been like obsessed with the way you look, or like, I have to look like this, I have to get my hair just like that, you know?
To like just fit in. That's really it.
Just a thing more.
I feel like there's so many like you have to be a certain way, like there's like expectations or else like you're weird or like I don't know, like people won't like you. Yeah.
You think you're sick.
Right.
Sick.
Well, it's kind of like, yeah, because like a man can wake up in the morning and it's just get out of bed and just
Not that there's anything wrong.
maybe take a shower and go to work or something. But like I feel like if a woman goes to work or like goes out in public and is like her hair is not combed or all that, people are gonna think like, what is wrong with you? You know, like, are you okay? Are you struggling? You know, and it's like, no, of course not. But I don't know. I do feel like, I don't know. I think the appearance thing is just a lot more prevalent with women than it is with men. I'm not sure exactly why that is, but I think we live in, and again, this type of issue, especially with social media and all that, is like definitely affecting more younger teen girls nowadays, I feel like, more so. And I think it's just going to get worse and worse, like with the new generations. Because it's like, yeah, and it's like we have all these filters and everything. We have all this makeup and stuff. I don't know what all, but like all this stuff. And at a younger and younger age, you're expected to look this certain way and dress up and be this person. And it's like,
I think it's more like being perfect. Like there's a perfect standard that you have to live up to, not just the fact that you're dressing up, but
Yeah.
and that's
That's
with all
awesome.
social media, all genders. Everyone's posting their lives.
One thing I was actually kind of scared to say, because it's just like, all right, let me be the first to stick a foot in my mouth here.
yes, go ahead.
Just as like an observer, from what I've seen through social medias, it's not also just looks based either. But I've seen a lot of things, especially it seems like there's like this expectation for like women to have this same kind of like cookie cutter personality. Like, you're all supposed to like the same thing, or if like, you stray from that, you're just a weird misfit or some crap like that. You gotta like the same things, you gotta just have similar interests, similar attitudes, and that's just not how it is. I mean, everybody's different.
Yeah, like a bully order, I'd be like, well, I like Pokemon. I'm like, that's really weird.
What?
I agree with that. I see that so much in school. It's horrible.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy how like, yeah, I feel like a lot. And again, like I said, this is with younger people. This is like people in high school and all that. But like, yeah, you are expected to like the same things, and so you have this group of people where it's all of our interests are exactly the same, and we're not different in any way. And it's like, I don't think we were created to be that way. We were created differently for a purpose, for a reason. But that's kind of like yeah, if you like stray from that, if you're like a little bit different than that, you're kind of viewed as an outcast.
Contradicting, because what's the whole thing about equality and what was it about
With
individuality? Like they word it differently.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah,
Yeah, individual. Yeah, like
it left me.
I can't remember now. But yeah, it's like you can be your own person. You can do whatever you want as long as you agree with us in every single way. Like that's kind of crazy.
It often comes from other things too. It's not always like, especially when it comes to like standards for like, well, you don't do this, she doesn't do that, she looks like that, she acts like this, and a lot of times like I got bullied like by other women a lot.
That's the thing. It seems to come. A lot of judgment seems to come from women to other women. Personally.
Yeah, like,
I think a lot
Yeah.
of it also has to do with like like jealousy and like just things you're struggling with in yourself. Cause like
Mm-hmm.
people like girls will like bully other girls because like they just want to make it seem like, oh, I'm better, so like I get to treat you like this because I'm better, and then it makes that person think like, oh, I'm not enough, like, and then they do all these things to make themselves fit in because they like got bullied or like people are mean to them because they weren't like other people.
Yeah.
It's just like a cycle.
Yeah.
Movies
Yes.
compare that a lot too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I also sometimes even see it in adult women, and even then, sometimes it can get real bad. I've noticed in older ladies, like
Oh,
grandmas,
Oh, yeah.
The grandmas.
Crazy.
henpecking, you know?
That's not how we did it in my day. You know.
Not the impression.
Oh, right.
You know, and it also begs the question though, where does this all stem from?
Yeah.
You know, is this
Insecurities.
right?
Yeah, where does it come from?
But then, you know, the insecurities is like a cultural issue, or, you know, what's going on.
Right.
To point out like where it came from. It literally says in Genesis that when they ate the fruit, they became very conscious that they were naked and they were embarrassed. So they made clothes out of vines, I think, and
Yeah. Take these.
big leaves.
That's, yeah,
It literally started from the beginning.
right. That's a very good point. And then of course now women nowadays are like almost expected to like look a certain way or whatever, act a certain way.
Puts doubt in your mind that you're good enough.
Yeah. No, definitely. Someone turn to, or I can turn to it, Psalm 139. I'll see, maybe I can turn to it real quick. Psalm 139, verses 13 and 14. It says, this is the King James Version, for thou hast possessed my reins, thou hast covered me in my mother's womb. I will praise thee, for I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Marvelous are thy works, and that my soul knoweth right well. So, this verse is very important. This is one of the best verses in the Bible. Because it just reminds us that we were created by God. You know, like, we weren't an accident, or we weren't just whatever. Like, our design, how we were created, our interests, how we look like, all that stuff came from God. So, as women, when you try to change that to fit in with someone else or do something else, it's almost like you're telling God, like, I don't like the way you created me. I don't like the way I look, you know? And I don't know, it's kind of crazy. I think all of us are created for a reason, for sure. There's also a couple of examples of strong women on here. We'll save that for later, I think. We'll save all the strong women for later.
Yeah, so you can forget.
Yes, definitely. What practical steps can you begin to take to protect your hearts or to protect yourself from the comparison trap?
Delete social media.
Yeah.
Get a flip phone.
Honestly.
Jelena literally was like, we went to Best Buy and she actually looked for a flip phone. She's like, do I want it?
I've really thought about it a couple times.
Also really people.
I don't even have
Yeah,
a phone.
true.
Oh, it's true.
You see them in reality.
I don't know, social media.
Yeah.
You're tired of comparing yourself to
Right,
her?
flaws.
Look at me. All.
Oh, yeah.
And then when I'm also speaking to, I'm trying to speak with like an actual like understanding mind, not like this assuming. Exactly,
Right.
exactly. It's just like, you know, trying to engage and encourage here, you know,
Oh, don't worry. They're going to shit on us next week anyways.
That's very true.
which is fine.
Yeah. Hopefully they do. But no, thank you, Josh. Yes. Because we sometimes struggle with that here. Yeah, the social media thing is a really big one. Like, if you're on that a lot, and even myself, like, I've been addicted before, just like getting on it. And the thing is, and I'm sure you probably heard this before, but with social media, it's like people are only going to post the best versions of themselves. And a lot of times they're gonna use filters or whatever to look even better than what they are. And it's like,
I mean, no matter who you are, man or woman, you fake it till you make it.
right.
Also that algorithm too, like you could mention you have a specific insecurity or problem and all of a sudden ad for this, ad for that.
Or just post.
Yeah, and it's like, oh my gosh, like.
I get a lot of weight loss ads for some reason.
That's because I keep sending you stuff
Especially
away.
like, dare I say satanic, how it can just get into your head.
Yeah. The minute
Yeah.
you do one thing and now it's like, you need this.
And then that's like the thing, like I'll like a post on Twitter about something, and then the next thing you know, I have 20 posts after that, all involved on people going at each other's throats. It's just pure negativity.
Yeah.
It's just random, really, so like.
Right. But I would imagine though, especially like, you know, if like you see a post to where it's like, you know, trying to be like encouraging of like, you know, your insecurities, like trying to like remind you not to worry about that stuff, then
Yeah.
you're gonna get 30 more posts that tell you to hate yourself.
Oh, yeah. Very dangerous.
Go outside, sit
Mhm.
down in the field, keep on for 30 minutes.
My brain was
Literally.
made to eat berries and sit by a waterfall, not stare at a touchable screen.
Literally.
Yeah.
My berries.
Because berries are good.
Just
Yeah.
berries, yeah.
He loves blackberries.
Yeah, I've been eating blackberries and raspberries lately, and it's been like way better as like a candy substitute.
Oh, yeah.
I do like blueberries.
That's pretty good. But yeah, just last point on that, and then we can move on. But it's like, I read a study a couple years ago of how starting your day off and actually walking outside into the sun instead of immediately going on your phone or turning on the TV or something, it actually does wonders for you, believe it or not. I know it's hard to believe, but we actually need the sun.
I think praying in the morning too.
Oh yeah, that's one I struggle with.
I did too, but for the past like 3 weeks I've been praying every day on my way to a ticket. It's usually like 30-minute drive, and it's changed a lot in my attitude during the day. Yeah, it just helps.
That helps a lot.
And when you're doing dishes.
Well, there you go.
Praying, meditating, basking in the natural, providing God's glory that is here, rather than focusing on the sins of man.
It's all, I really feel like one of the most important things is like how we start our day. How we start our day sets the tone for the whole day. So yeah, if we start our day and we're praying and we're just enjoying, like we're not focused on a million other things. We're just focused on Jesus, you know?
Even if you didn't put Jesus first, which everyone should, even if you started the first half hour of your day not touching your phone or acknowledging it, and just getting up, brushing your teeth, getting ready, drink coffee if you drink it, get some water in you, just getting your body ready for the day before even acknowledging your phone. The first half hour is the most important.
That's very true. Yeah. It's a very good point. I think, and that's something I'm personally still trying to work with, but I have noticed like a mental difference for myself when it's like I wake up and I'm like, phone, you're gonna go over here. And then I'm just gonna actually wake up the right way, you know. But any other thoughts on that with identity and comparison?
Prayer walk. You could.
Prayer walk.
I like combining them. A lot of my friends at Valpo told me that like, because like we've talked about how praying does wonders on your mindset, and you know, like going outside does wonders on like just your like mood for the day, and so like combining them is a great thing. I would definitely recommend it.
I can imagine that's very helpful. So let's get into part 2. Let's talk about singleness. The pressure to marry by a certain age. Do any of you ladies feel that in here? Do you feel pressure to get married? Is anybody getting married soon? Feeling the pressure of getting married? anyone at all in here?
No, just you.
Yeah, definitely just me. Shut up, Mark. Oh. So, I don't know if you guys do this or not. You ladies, excuse me, do this or not. But do you ever feel like you're on a timeline of like, you have to, it's like in your head, all right, by 25, I'm going to do this. And then
Yes.
27, I'm going to do this and that. Like, I feel like I hear a lot of ladies say that, you know? And then, but what happens if you don't hit your goal by then? Then you feel like a failure. You know, and it's like, oh, all my dreams have washed away, you know?
It's really emphasized for women to like have kids by a certain age and everything. Otherwise,
Yeah.
they're no good in the eyes of the people. So it's like really pressured into them from like a really young age.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, 5th grade.
That's crazy.
Yeah, they're like, oh, you're gonna be a mom one day. You know, all this stuff, and then
It's
that's
true.
stuck in your head ever since you're little.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's really good.
And then you build your whole life thinking that you're gonna have kids, you know? And then it all comes crashing down because what they told you was a lie. Or if it doesn't happen on the timeline, then what do you do?
Right. Or, yeah, I mean, like, what if you don't even want to have kids, honestly? I mean, that's the thing, too. It's kind of like all these expectations that are just like, no one's asking you, like, what you want. It's just like, this is going to happen.
Not everybody can be a parent even if they want to, just because of medical things.
Or like health things.
Yes.
So-
Yeah, not everyone should be a parent. I mean, no offense. It's just like, I don't know.
Just know you're not capable.
Yeah.
So it's like, why do that? And bring something in, so-
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not like just some fun little thing, you know? I mean, it's an actual child that you have to take care of, you know, and
Or not for some people.
or not. Just
Well-
shove an iPad in their face.
I also feel like for like younger girls, like it's like get married young, like as a Christian, like that's something that like I hear
Yeah.
all my like Christian friends talking about, like, oh, I'm gonna get married by like at least 20 or 22, and I'm like,
Wow.
yeah, and I'm just like, bro, I have college and stuff, like I can't be thinking about this.
Yeah, like, what about, like, how come,
Yeah.
and I feel like this is still like, I don't know, this might be like a sexist thing or not, but it's like with men, it's like they get into college and it's like, go ahead, focus on your studies, young man. You're doing a great job. And then for women, it's like, hey, if you don't find your man by the end of freshman year, like, you're toast. You're done. You know, like, you need to find your man. And it's like,
But it's like also like the women is the missing rib, so like they shouldn't have to go seek a man. You know what I mean?
that's true.
Like
That's
it
true.
should never be like that. And I think that's something that women really struggle with is like, oh, like I need to find a man. And that's part of the reason why they do all these things to like get guys' attention, like dress a certain way or like post on social media a certain way. And like it's all because like they just like they need like that validation and stuff, you know?
They do, right. But you're right. I think the right way to do a relationship, the way it should be done is like, you're not, like, for a woman, they shouldn't even be looking for it. It should just happen naturally. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and that's how you know it's from God, is because like it won't bring confusion or anything, and you won't like get hurt in the process, like chasing after someone.
Yeah.
You'll never have to do that.
You shouldn't have to chase after someone. It just
Yeah.
should
Yeah.
happen.
Yeah, given from God.
Yeah.
I try to get rid of them and then they come back.
I'm not going away.
5th grade, and not be broken up and all, so.
Aww.
Oh.
Wait, that's kind of cute, actually. Wow.
Yeah.
It's kind of great.
I was kidding.
That's just the, what do they call that? The invisible string theory or something?
Yeah.
Or just like, you come back, it's like you meet each other before. So, yes. So a lot of women struggle with that, feeling behind. Combined with the hypersexualized culture creates loneliness, shame, or confusion. And by the way, and this is another thing that Christians and the church really mess up on, in my opinion, is this concept that a woman or a man has to get married. You have to get married and have kids. You don't have to.
No, you don't.
The Bible doesn't say that.
Another thing, like, honestly, like, it's something, like, personal, like, I've been helping to tell myself is that, like, life is not all about relationships. Like, we're here for God and God alone. And, like, obviously, like, as a Christian, like, I feel like it is, like, get married, like, two's better than one, you know, all this stuff. Like, get married for, like, Christ.
Yeah.
But, like, also, like, it's a lot of pressure because it's, like, that's not really why we're born. Like, we're born to, like, praise God and, like, worship God and stuff. So it's, like, I don't know. That's something I've been struggling with a lot because, like, I feel so behind in stuff with that, like, relationships, like, and yeah.
Yeah, no.
Sorry.
No,
No.
you're done.
No, you definitely don't have to rush.
Yeah.
And obviously, I think the right relationship is one that's going to bring you closer to God.
Yeah.
You know, that's when you know, I've been in relationships where it went the other way.
Yeah.
It brought me farther from God. And that's when I knew it wasn't a good relationship.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, for sure. But it's also like being single is not like, it doesn't mean that you're somehow against the Bible or you're like not doing the right thing. I mean,
Yeah.
That sucks sometimes.
yeah, it does. But
Well, the best thing about being single is the moment you start understanding that you can find your own happiness by yourself. So when you find somebody else that works with you, then it's so much more, it's just better. Because being able to be single and happy is a blessing to a relationship.
yeah. Oh, that was so sweet. I thought you were gonna badmouth Maddie.
Well, it's like shared happiness is double the happiness.
Yeah, if you're feeling you're missing something and you get with someone, you want them to fill that hole and it's not really
Yeah.
through.
So that's another issue too, is like, I feel like a lot of women feel like they're not gonna be complete until they find the man, until they find the one. And it's like, no.
Well,
A man is not gonna complete that, like what you're feeling. You know what I mean? Like,
The same with guys. It's not going to complete.
right. And guys struggle with that too. Guys are desperate. I mean, geez. Terrible. Not me.
It's okay, Justin.
No.
speak for
not,
yourself.
not anymore. Listen. All right.
Well, my experience with that is that I have had some really bad friends in the past. I'm talking some, dare I say, miserable bastards.
It's fair.
Like, just to put it bluntly. And then that was the thing though, is that they had this idea that if they had a girlfriend, that then this woman is magically going to fix them.
Right.
And it's just like, bro, you need to fix yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
You-
That's messed up.
It seems like more of a trope, like in movies especially and in
Hallmark
shows. You know, it's like the person's broken and they find someone and then they're all in love and then everything's
Oh my
perfect and
gosh.
fixed.
It does stem from media in general, just movies, books. Everyone has this thing they see every day, whether on TV or in a book or through songs, just of this fantasy that happens. It can happen that way, but that's likely not.
It's not happening. You're not finding.
And it's just everywhere, so everyone thinks, oh, this is how it's supposed to be. It's like, no, that's how somebody wants it to be.
You're not walking down the street and find Ryan Gosling or, you know.
I mean, you might, but
Twilight.
it doesn't mean you're going to get him.
Right. That's very true. So let's talk about, real quick, Mary, the mother of Jesus. What did Mary do? If you think back on her story, she was supposed to be married. She was getting married to Joseph, right? And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, this angel came down and was just like, hey, you're having a baby. And by the way, he's going to be the Son of God, Jesus. And, but she was obedient. She said yes to that. And I think, well, she definitely handled it the right way for sure. Hopefully that doesn't happen to any ladies nowadays, but,
It probably does.
Wait, what?
what?
We don't know.
Moving on.
What? There might be men getting pregnant. You never know.
Oh my gosh. We're gonna talk about that next week.
I have a quick question before we continue.
Yes.
What is the bag of coins for?
I asked that
It's
too.
just
It's just so random.
So wacky.
Is that the point?
Is it like
Three and a half
Yes.
pound disciplinary.
Start of a curse jar in here.
oh right. There you go.
Well,
This is Mark's.
It's my curse.
That's very true.
There's probably like $100 in there right now from all the curse stuff that it said.
I think like a blasphemy jar would be better. Like,
Yeah, I'm gonna be filling that every week.
I was about to say, this room alone at that point will have enough to like fund events for this place.
Oh my gosh.
People use for.
That's blasphemy. It's so good. Lydia. I don't know how many of you guys know Lydia's story. I gotta look her up again because I don't remember. But
So you're not one of the people who remember her story?
she was a good lady, let me tell you.
Bringing her up, don't know who she is.
Just you know what?
Performative.
Acts chapter 16.
You want to just read the whole chapter out loud?
No. So Lydia was a woman. She was from the early church, essentially, of the city of Thyatira, which worshiped God. She heard us, and she was baptized, and her household as well. Besought us, saying, "If you have judged me to be faithful to the Lord, come into my house and abide there." And she constrained us. Same fall for Paul on us. So essentially, she was actively advanced the gospel with her resources in her home. She was a single woman, I believe, and still opened up her home every week faithfully. And I think of that with a lot of older women that go to our church here. Some of them are single, some of them are like widowed, whatever. And they may be going through difficult things, hard things in their life. But they come to church faithfully every week, and they're the nicest people you ever meet, and then maybe things didn't always go their way in life. Maybe they never got married, but that didn't stop them from what God had called them to do, Yes.
So there was this one lady, her name's Gwen. She helps out with just serving on Sunday. And there was one time that I was at the welcome desk and she was doing the table with the coffee and stuff.
Mhm.
And I just had a strong calling to go talk to her because I don't know, we're a church, we're supposed to talk to each other, pray for each other and stuff. And there's those people who I've never talked to that I've never looked at or said a word to. And so I went up to her and I was like, "Hi, what's your name and stuff?" And she was like, "Oh, I'm Gwen." And I was like, "Gwen, can I pray for you?" And she was like, "Yeah, my husband, he doesn't come to church and it's really hard for me and I just really hope that he comes to church and stuff." And she comes a lot and I don't know, that just really stuck with me because it's
Wow.
even though she's a lot older and stuff, there's still people who are married that are struggling with that being unequally yoked and stuff. And I know that's really hard as a woman to because I've dealt with that too, being unequally yoked. It's really hard, honestly.
I've unfortunately heard of that with a lot of women where it's they're going to church faithfully, they're doing the right things,
Yeah.
but their husband just doesn't want to go to church, and
Yeah.
it's so sad
She
because
seemed really discouraged and stuff, and it was really sad.
oh, it's good. It's good you prayed with her though.
I did, yeah.
That's really good. And that's a whole separate issue too. We can get into a little bit, I guess, real quick before we get on the next section. Is just what if you get married to the wrong person? That ends up being a lot worse.
Yeah,
But
honestly.
if you stay with them a long time, it might be the right person. You might
May.
be the positive that changes their negative.
It
Or
may.
vice versa.
Yeah, that's true.
Well,
It may.
if that's God's plan, that's God's plan. It depends on how, because His plan might not go in a positive light. You never know. Because something bad happening to you might lead to someone else's good. through God's plan, not through your plan. You are suffering.
It could.
Because there's always good that comes out of bad, whether you see it or not.
Yeah.
But it's just so important to choose the right person because I don't know.
Well, it's not about you choosing. That's the problem, is people choose.
Yeah, it's more about God. Like you have to
Yeah.
trust God with it. Like you shouldn't choose. Like it should
Well,
just naturally
right.
happen with God. Yeah, I get what you're saying.
But yeah, but you still ultimately like
No, not necessarily. I,
mean,
didn't
like,
choose Maddie.
I get what you're
Maddie-
saying, because like if you do become like with the wrong person, like you can choose to like not be with them anymore, like in a way, because like you know like your calling and you know like what you're worthy of in a relationship and stuff, like in a godly way. Like if that does that make sense?
No, it's
Like if I'm in a bad relationship and they're not godly, like I can choose like.
I mean,
like,
if it's just
That's what I'm
God
saying, you
gave
can
me free
choose,
will
though.
To choose who I'm with in a way,
Right.
you know.
right. And I feel like most people know. I mean, hopefully they know before they get married. Hopefully they spend enough time with the person where it's like,
Yeah.
you know, you can tell if the person's really with the Lord or not. Really.
Because you don't, it's not, it is, if you're married, yes, it is your job to get them closer to God,
Yes.
but it's not your job to drag them to God.
No, that's true. Yeah.
But then that's when it's like unequally yoked and like God calls us to not like then that's how you know like even
No, not necessarily. Because you can be in a terrible situation and you might be with someone who is the exact opposite of you and have like, we're going to say like they're a witch of some kind. Like you marry a witch.
Okay.
Like you're a Christian and you marry a witch unknowing at the time, but you fall in love and you guys work really well. They may never change.
Yeah.
They may never get close to God, but they still get you close to God. They get you closer by their negativity. Gets you closer
Because like
even
yeah,
when you
I
stay.
get what
Talking
you're
about
saying.
my parents.
Ah.
Everyone's like, oh,
It all makes sense.
I was like, yeah, this song.
Oh, okay.
Oh my gosh.
I was really invested. I was like, oh,
No, it's because that's a good example because her parents are a good example because her mom raised Catholic, married her father. Her father grew up kind of in the church too, but not really. And over time, ended up identifying as a witch, whatever.
she or he?
He.
Oh,
What?
Yes.
Isn't that Warlock though?
And I know. Yes. He is retarded. That's
So
What's
wait,
he identifying as? What?
But they, as we have been together, her mom is slowly getting closer to God, even though he's not changing. And over time, I'm sure he will change, but it will take him a lot longer. It just takes longer than you expect it to because you're expecting everything to go right.
well, everything's in God's time.
Yeah.
yeah. I feel like how I see it though is like that person will find you when like God has prepared them and be ready for you.
Not necessarily. Maybe you're supposed to prepare them for God.
I think it could go both ways. I
It
never
can.
really, I've never really to
Because,
play. Sorry.
No, I'm sorry. I cut you off. You talk.
Like to play devil's advocate, I've never really liked the idea of a soulmate besides God and God alone because we could all fit perfectly into the love of God, even with all our struggles. We could bring that to the Lord. I always thought of it as you're with a person and you build them into your soulmate. Now, this is very important when we draw back to what we said earlier about not rushing into a relationship besides what like society might tell us to do or how we view it around us, because if you are truly wanting to grow close to the Lord and you've worked on yourself for a while before getting into a relationship, then you will have this like reasonable list of like what I need to do to grow closer to the Lord and how to not stray off. So I really think that it could go either one of the ways that you guys are talking about, but if you're being extensive enough and true to your love in the Lord, then you're going to know who you are looking for. And God could always put someone different in your life. God could always use you to draw someone else closer to the Lord. My girlfriend didn't believe before we started dating, but now we go to church together every Sunday. So, there's steps and there's definitely ways that it could go both ways, but I don't think it's necessarily, the best to try to figure out what God's plan is for us.
Don't try to force people into your version of God.
Yeah.
That is the main takeaways. Don't force other people to be what you think you should be.
I agree.
That's very true.
That's more Christian and you're someone who is not, you have to have a strong willpower with that person because they can also draw you into whatever they're doing. So
That's the dangerous part.
uses you to change them,
But it all depends on what you prayed for, because you might have been being prayed for strength and wisdom and patience. You got it.
Oh,
He gave you a way to learn.
oh man.
Sure.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true.
Because I was more religious than she was, but I'm not religious. I'm a believer and always have been a believer, but I've never been religious. I don't like religion as a whole.
I agree.
But I do believe in God, and His way does work. It always has and always will. And us being together has brought us closer to God. Not necessarily closer to a religion, because even though I go to church every Sunday, doesn't mean I'm closer to the religion. I'm closer to God because of it.
People focus on the wrong R. It should be relationship with God, not religion.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I would definitely agree with that. And the last thing I'll say on this, and then we can move on to the last part, is I think one of the important things to do, and we've kind of talked about this already, is like working on yourself first, praying for the right kind of person in your head, right? Like, this is the person I want with these qualities. Something that my mom did when she was in like 5th grade or something, apparently, but she wrote out a list and she said, these are the qualities I want in my future husband. And she had like a full page of stuff, and she ended up marrying my dad, and my dad had almost everything on the list except for a 6-pack. But that was it.
No, he had a 6-pack, he just had to buy it.
He just had it. He brought it with him.
Tantin's cookies.
Ooh,
Cookies are so good.
they change you.
What was it? Eclair pie or something? What did she make that's like really good? I forgot.
A lot. Yeah, the eclair cake, the
Yeah.
monster cookies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All of it.
It's very good. But yeah, so I think last thing to close on that was just like write what you want. Like and pray to God about what you want in a future spouse, because He's gonna give it to you. I feel like,
I think want is too strong of a word.
Want?
I think need is.
Need. That's even stronger.
No, because
It is stronger because
in a different way. But if you can want everything, you can want the perfect person,
Yeah.
but what you need might be someone who's not.
Yeah, I see.
yeah.
But that's like why Justin said not everything on her list was met. There's a little bit of
Yeah, I mean, have a good outline of what you like. Having wants is a good thing, but they have to be positive and not like, because superficial is changeable. You can change anything in a suit. Like if you end up with a fat guy or fat girl in general, they can change. They're not going to be the same way for the rest of their life unless they want to be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Anything else to say on this? All right. Let's move on. Part 3. We're talking about balancing roles, career, family, and the impact of feminism. So, one of the things that women do is a lot. They do a lot of stuff. So nowadays, like I said, like at the beginning, it's like back in the 40s and 50s, women were kind of expected to just do one thing. It's like stay home, be the housewife, cook and clean and all that. Well, nowadays, we live in a society where women have their own careers. They're becoming CEOs. They're doing all this stuff. And yet, they're still coming home and taking care of the family and doing all this other stuff. Going to church, doing everything. And maybe one of the issues that women have is if they don't do all of those things in their life, then they feel almost guilty, or they feel like they're going to be judged by their women because you're not doing enough or something, which is ridiculous. and this is where we kind of start talking about feminism, because that is where, what is feminism, right? Feminism is the idea that men and women are equal, right? And so women should have equal rights. They should be allowed to do the same things as men. That's how it started. Now, how has it changed for the better or the worse?
What do you mean better?
Well, I'm just saying, I'm trying to play, yes.
Would you define radical feminism as like the idea that women are better? I'm just like trying to.
That is
I feel like a
what that-
definition. would
That, and I think it's like rooted in deep hate for men.
I think that's where it comes from.
Like deep. Yeah.
It's all
Yeah.
90. A lot of them are usually abused in some way.
Yeah. Like I've had friends before who are, they call themselves feminists and all that. I don't think they weren't like crazy or anything like that. I don't.
No, I know someone's crazy.
I feel like it's such a topic to where it's like, I don't know. I almost have like a negative connotation with it, but it's not. I don't think the idea of itself is bad. No. Like, yeah, men and women should be equal, and they, and yeah,
Sexism shouldn't exist.
right.
And I know it's because of we're still dealing with the aftermath of the norms that were put into place since Christ, since before Christ. Because even before there was a time when men and women were equals. But then it slowly went to the point where men did everything and women did nothing but serve.
I thought you were just gonna leave it at that. Women did nothing.
And then that was just the.
And that's So like, how did it get to that point? And then like, how do we?
I mean, the system, the way the system was set up, it made it easy in a way. Men did one thing, women did another,
Yeah.
but men got too big in their britches. Their heads got too big to think, oh, our way works. Women shouldn't say anything. And it slowly shifted to where men controlled everything and women could do nothing about it. Whereas it's not supposed to be that way. It's supposed to be equal representation on both sides. And men and women are supposed to take care of the household.
Did that start like at like the beginning of World War II, somewhere around that period? That's what would make sense.
In America, yes. Because there were so few, all the men came back traumatized from the wars. So they had all that trauma and it just got worse.
And that's when women started taking on a larger role, doing all this stuff, and
Yeah, they had to become not just wives and mothers, but wives and mothers to their husbands.
yeah, makes sense. And now I think it's flipped the other way, right? To where it's like women are doing all this stuff, and then
No, it's the same way, except
Is it the
men
same?
are just doing less.
right,
Unfortunately, men are so stupid that you challenge them. Hey,
Wait, so are you a feminist?
no, I'm just a humanist.
a humanist.
Just to understand.
Men are so stupid.
balance.
Yeah, men are so stupid that are like when feminists didn't get that, you challenged men to give you equality. Be careful what you wish for, because true equality means you get to get shit on like dudes do.
Oh boy.
And they don't like that. They're like, oh, I want all this, and this. Cool, you can have it. I don't want it. We don't want the control we have. And they didn't get that when you have all that, you're gonna get shit on, period.
Yeah. So there are positive contributions to feminism. So like, before we used to live in America not too long ago where women weren't able to vote, the abuse. I mean, think about domestic violence, the trafficking, rapes and all that, where women weren't believed.
That's worse now than it was then.
I think
Is that-
trafficking
It
is,
is.
trafficking
It's way
especially.
worse.
But
As a general whole,
Yeah.
I would say domestic violence was probably the number one
Yeah.
change from that.
It's because
Really?
of the war and the trauma. They needed to get it out. They're stupid.
Yes. But like what I'm saying is like back then though, like women probably weren't believed as much. Like if they were, or like it just didn't matter as much. Nowadays, I feel like women have a lot more protections against like if something like that happens.
I mean, right, like,
The pendulum was swung too far to the other side.
right.
Now it's a woman can make up something
Yes.
and it's completely believed by everyone.
Yes.
But I mean, like,
That's where the issue is.
look at like the Puritan age back in like colonial days. I mean, especially with crap like the Salem witch trials.
Darn witches. Yeah.
Like they were just, wasn't that they were just being attacked because they thought they were witches, or was that actually?
No, they didn't. They took it too serious to the point where they just, even if someone said you were, they automatically were like, okay, yeah, cool. You were.
Right, it was like
Yeah.
a Red Scare, but of like the metaphysical.
Yeah.
And then that was the thing though, is that any man that would sit there and then speak out and be like, hey, I think we're acting a little too irrational here, they would also be like, yeah, they would crush you with their stones.
It wasn't just men that died for it. It was women and men who died for the truth.
Right, yeah.
Because if you defended someone who was who thought to be a witch, you were automatically thought to be in their control.
Right. You know, yeah, just anything. And it was just, you know, this big scare of witchcraft and black magic all around. It was crazy.
And then
You were there?
Wow. It was crazy, let me tell you.
Thinking about it like now, it's kind of crazy that like a Christian centered society, or at least what they were supposed to be on, turned out to be such like a horrible thing. Like whenever I would read about those books, the last thing in my mind was this is like a Christ-centered society. Not really, as you could see, but I just never would, think of pointing at a person and saying, "Let's burn them at the stake for dancing in their backyard."
Wow.
Probably sin.
Yeah, that's
well, if you think back to the times, their understanding of the Bible was very Old Testament. They never really paid attention to Jesus's message. They only paid attention to what the Jews did, not what Christ was telling them to do. They would only some religions back then, some of the denominations would actually listen to what Christ said, and a lot of the times that's why they ended up coming here, is because it was the more extreme denominations that came to America.
In all seriousness, was it? I can't remember, but I'll give some more context afterwards. Was it like 1600s or 1700s when this was happening?
16.
16. Okay, so they didn't read Greek or Hebrew, and the first like English translation started coming of the New Testament in the mid
500,
to late
1500s.
1500s.
Yeah, the printing press.
Okay.
Hmm.
Well, I guess they were just stupid.
Well, they were
just
just rooted
really-
in their traditions.
Yeah.
So that's just the traditional. They had back then. They had the same mentality the Jews did, because they learned it from the Jews. Like, you do it this way because this is the way it works. You do it. No one can change it because this is how it worked always.
I mean, things were like so strict back then that I remember hearing about how like it was tradition that, you know, absolutely no work is done on the Sabbath, Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
Like, so you couldn't even
Right.
carry a container filled with water through the house, because then potentially water splashing and spilling onto the floor would then technically clean it, and that would count as you clean on Sunday.
That's what I was gonna
That's
bring
how
up.
crazy tradition was.
And that's actually the
So
what are the not the Mennonites, the other ones. The Mennonites are cool.
The Womanites.
The Amish. The Amish are still doing that. They're still like that.
Really?
The Mennonites are much more. They're
get
basically
it.
the Amish that understand they have to adapt a little bit. Which is why it's like if you ever go to Menards and you see them, you'll see them in the store. Because
Yeah,
they
see,
go to buy stuff.
I think the Amish.
Skirts.
Yeah.
Amish
I
are
saw
fake.
them partying once in a park. That was crazy. They
Yeah.
were actually like, there was beat music and everything. And they were like,
Oh yeah.
No
They're
joke.
beatboxing.
It was like a straight party and everyone was wearing skirts. I was like, where am I right now?
They're walking into grocery stores and stuff. Aren't they supposed? They're supposed to be living in like tents and stuff. What are they doing in Menards or Meyer?
That's the Mennonites he was saying.
Yeah, the Mennonites, not the Amish.
Oh, but I've seen the Amish before.
Yeah,
and-
the Amish wouldn't be caught dead listening to that music.
No.
No, but I've seen the Amish in stores before.
No, if you've seen them in
They
the
have their own
stores,
stores.
What?
no. If you see them in the stores, they're not Amish.
Bro,
Those are
100%
Mennonites.
They are.
They are Mennonites.
Well, if you do
They
see
look
them,
exactly the
they're
same.
Amish are like
different.
totally isolationists.
Yes.
They like have their own. Literally.
You will never see an
why we
Amish
eat my
person
dairy.
in the street unless they're on a horse and buggy.
I mean, I've seen that, and then they get off and go into Meyer. I'm like, what do you do? You're
Well,
fake.
maybe there's some of them. Maybe they're evolving. I don't
The
know.
Amish do have a point in their lives where they are allowed
Oh,
to
yeah,
experience the
Amish.
actual,
Right
Yeah.
to choose if they want to.
and whether they want to stay with them.
Yeah.
Or if
Cheaters.
they want to stay in modern society.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So if that is Rumspringen, so that's a very specific time in their lives.
I'd be down with
Okay.
it. I just can't do the sideburns.
Okay, right. I don't think I could grow that.
No, you have a perfect beard for it.
No, I don't.
Yeah, you do, because you don't have a mustache, you have everything else.
Just go.
We're talking about women. Please. Once again, the men are taking over. Stop it. Ugh.
Then continue on.
Balancing roles.
What would people think, what would everybody think that would be a good balance?
Right.
How could we balance it?
That's a good question. How would you?
We need like a week to come up with that answer.
Well, right, that's such a complex societal discussion, a cultural discussion there for balance. Because I mean, so much crap is just topsy turvy now.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
like,
But like, a woman doesn't know what their role is anymore, and I feel like the same with a man too. They don't know what they're supposed to do, and so we're just going around life and just doing whatever we feel like doing, and then we just die. You know, it's just, you know, I don't know.
Living easy, living free on a one-way ticket.
Yeah. Whatever you said, yeah.
Earlier, like hookup culture is a really normal thing. And
Yeah.
I'm looking at it from a woman's side, so it goes on both sides. When I look at other women who will complain that they can never find the one, and they're just hooking up with some new guy every night, and it's like, what do you think is gonna happen? Like, I don't think that's women.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And shame on those guys too, but still, like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's both, but I don't know. Women feel like or some women feel like they need to be validated, and they need to have that in their lives for some reason, you know, to feel better about themselves or to feel validated and all that. And it's like, you don't need that. You don't need no man, you know?
Yeah, you do, but not in the way that you're saying it.
Yeah.
A lot of the biggest problem from what I've seen, is that it is basically the old thing of the family has been destroyed. So a lot of these women that go out in the hookup culture, they don't have fathers in the house. They don't have a male role model to show them what a man is supposed to be.
Yeah.
At least
maybe they physically, like, familiarly have a father, but like, is he a present father?
yes. If he is he in your life?
Even
'Cause-
then, I don't know if that's necessarily it, because I know a lot of girls that they all have their dads. They're living at home. The mom and dad are together. All of that good stuff.
Yeah, me too.
But the relationship is, not based on Christ. I think it's just if your family dynamic is not centered around God,
Yeah.
it can.
Right, where parents
That's
are
very.
But then
leaders.
you need the bare minimum for it to even work a little bit. Like you need to, because even if you had, unfortunately, even if you have a Christ-centric home and no father, it still doesn't work.
the Bible does say there's a hierarchy to it, that like
Yes.
men are supposed to be leaders in the household, and
Yeah.
be closest to God, and then it's like
Yeah.
the mother who's supposed to nurture and care for her children, and then the children, you know. It's a mix of like, you know, your actual father and then
Yeah.
our actual father, you know?
Yeah. I kind of struggled with my
In a
father.
few minutes.
Yeah.
So, thank you.
I was gonna say, like honestly, like I don't have that family dynamic. Like it was mainly just my grandpa. Like growing up, like obviously, like my dad's still in my life, but like not present and stuff. But like, I don't know. I feel like
Well, even grandfathers can count as fathers.
yeah, I know.
So
that's
that's
what
true.
I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like yeah,
As long as there's a mother-father dynamic in some way in your mind, right?
yeah.
Shout out to Grandma.
It doesn't.
Same
So
with
I do wanna say
Yeah.
that there has been studies, kind of regarding this, but it's, majority of women will find a man that acts like their father.
That's
So
true.
if your father isn't, this goes for like a majority, there's always like outliers and there's always that small percentage that isn't falling in line, but your father isn't in Christ or your family in general isn't, like, you're gonna find somebody that kind of matches what you grew up with. It's something comforting that you associate with. And unfortunately, there's a lot of times where domestic violence is a big thing. And I have family members who have fallen into that too. Well, they'll find somebody who is like their dad, just in a different form.
Yeah. And they think it's okay because that's what they've grown up with. That's what they've had. You know? And so I don't know. It is different. Like a daughter's relationship with her father is like, I think it is really important. Maybe in some ways more important than like a son's relationship with her dad. Because like the dad is supposed to treat the daughter, like he's supposed to teach her, this is how a man is supposed to treat you. With respect, you know, with love. And, you know, yeah, it's, yeah, with the right care. And it's like, that's, so, you know, when you grow old enough to get married and all that, it's like, that's what you want to look for. And it is startling the difference with like kids in the house. Like you can look up studies of like the difference like mentally for children like who don't grow up without a father. You know, it's like they struggle more in school or maybe they struggle more in their marriage. You know, I don't know. Obviously, that's not in every case, but I think it does affect, or it can. So it's tough. There's a lot with that. Any more thoughts on that?
Well, I see that mommy issues are gonna be brought up next week too.
Yeah. That'll be fun.
And who's going to be the one studying about Oedipus for the next 2
Oh
weeks?
boy.
Be great. All right. I think we're gonna finish it up here.
I knew it.
We're
I knew- I
skipping the
told you.
strong women. I'm sorry.
See, I told you, and that's the last section. That is the last.
I mean, should we go through it? We're pretty much
Just
done.
can't talk. No talking. Read.
Well, let's just close with, this is one of the most important passages with women. It's Proverbs 31. Have you heard it before?
Probably.
To be a Proverbs 31 woman. Have you ever heard that before? So, you know what? I'm just going to look this up. Quality. I know it's there. Proverbs 31 woman. I mean, there's a lot, but
Yeah, that's a good one. Right.
that one's a good one. Okay. Qualities of Proverbs 31 woman. And some of the stuff we've already talked about. She wakes up in the morning and prays, first thing in the morning. She looks to the Bible for wisdom, not from other people, not from influences in her life, you know, whatever she sees on her phone. She goes to the Bible. She works with her hands. Maybe she works with flowers. I don't know. She's strong and confident. She takes care of her home. She's faithful and kind. She fears the Lord. She's disciplined, and she seeks God first. And so if you've ever heard that before, like, be like a Proverbs 31 woman, that's some of the things that they're talking about right there.
And
How
it's
about Judges 4 woman?
What is that?
I've heard of it, but there's Proverbs versus Judges.
go ahead.
What is judge?
In the overview, makes it a lot nicer, but a woman who takes decisive action, exhibits strong leadership, steps up to protect her home, family, or community when others hesitate.
Oh, that sounds great.
That's there's two types of guys. There's two types of guys. Guys that like Proverbs women and people, but guys that like Judges women.
What's wrong? She opens up her home. What's wrong with that?
No, Judges woman takes control.
Yeah.
Okay.
The Judges women are way more
Masculine. That's the only that's why there's two types of guys.
Two types of guys that wear canes and the guys that wear knee highs.
What are you talking about?
What's wrong with that?
What is that?
Strong woman. Come on now.
They're both cool.
No, they are both great. And it's just
Exactly.
funny because you know what type of guy you are when one of them, you know what you're looking for.
Oh my gosh.
Which one do you want, Abraham?
Choose now. I'm going to the gym and finding me a good, strong lady.
You're gonna find her. The Judges woman.
Pick me up and throw me around. Never mind.
Discussion of like weak men create hard
Yep. So that's it. Key takeaways here. Remember, women, ladies, your worth is secure in Christ, not how you look, not in getting approval from everyone else. None of that really matters at the end of the day. Remember that you were created by God, and you were created for a reason. You were created for a purpose. That's all that matters. There are so many strong women that, of course, I have failed to mention in this tonight's study, but Deborah, Esther, Mary, Lydia, Priscilla, Proverbs 31 woman, Judges 4 woman. Scripture is full of bold, capable, God-fearing women, and I'm sure you know some of their stories, but it's pretty amazing. Feminism, it's got some good, it's got some bad, but ultimately I think it is important. It's like men and women are equal for a reason. And then lastly, biblical womanhood is strength. Hey Dad, give us some qualities about Tammy.
My what?
Yeah, no, another Tammy.
Loyal. She's loyal.
Yeah.
She's honest. She's
Yeah.
a woman of integrity.
Yeah.
And she can be a little. I'm not gonna say.
Yeah, we are recording right now. So.
A little nice sometimes. And she can be direct.
Oh! Judges 4.
It's very important.
Anyway, there's some cake and there's some water and coffee up in the lobby.
Perfect.
Help yourselves.
All right.
I'm taking some to go. Sorry to disturb your class. I just thought you guys would want some cake. And I always like to see all of you too. So I always pray for all of you, whether you know that or not. I do.
Thank you.
Thank you.
It's been good. We got a really good group here. We really do.
Yeah.
So it's been really good. Well,
But Abraham makes up for it all.
See you guys.
All right.
Lots of cake.
See you guys.
Lots of cake.
Thank you guys.
bye. All right. Let's pray and then we'll have some cake. Dear God, thank you so much for tonight. Thank you so much for everyone that's here and the great discussion that we had, as always. I pray for all the ladies in here tonight, God, that just remind them that they are loved by you, that they are cared for by you, and that they have a purpose in life. And I pray that the men in this room are the ones that are in relationships with them, or just their Christian brothers. I pray that we do a good job of lifting them up too. I think that's very important as well, is to be there for them, to support them, and to give them the confidence they need to continue to grow in their faith. And so I just pray that we as men do our job as well and continue to do that. But we thank you so much for tonight. I want to pray for everyone in this room for their weeks that they've had so far. Big weeks. I'm sure there's a lot going on with everyone in this room, God, but I just pray that you just continue to let us breathe in you, let us trust in you, and especially for the rest of this week with whatever we got going on, God, that you'll just continue to give us the strength that we need and the peace and just the knowledge that you're always there with us, God. You're always there for us. So we thank you for tonight, for all the blessings you've given us. Pray for everyone as they go home tonight. And all these things in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen.
All right, guys. Thank you for being here.